This is LOA Recon with Good Vibe Coach Jeanette Ma, where we explore the ins and outs of conscious creation to manifest our favorite dreams come true. Let's have some fun together. Welcome and thank you for tuning in for another episode. Oh, I want to start us off on a high note. I love this review on iTunes for the podcast. This is from Uppington in the USA. 5 stars, titled Always Makes Me Smile. Here's how it reads. I love this podcast. Can you hear me smiling already? Just even read this. Oh, I love this podcast. Jeanette's joy and zest for life, along with the honesty and vulnerability in the stories she shares, always warms my heart and makes me smile. My new favorite episode is What Are You Giving Yourself? This is so simple and brilliant, and yet we/I make it so difficult. You're not alone, Uppington. The bit about not giving ourselves should gifts or Homer gifts really got me thinking about what I can gift myself this year and how to open the door to allowing. Thank you as always. Thank you, Uppington, for such a cool review, for listening, and I can't wait to hear what you got yourself. Drop me a note and let me know. Okay, I have a topic for us today. That was a fabulous note to get us started on. Thanks again for the review. I'm intending that I convey this subject to you in a way that has the same impact for you that it does on me when I see this happening. It's a story about how, in essence, it really doesn't matter the circumstances we're given. It's all about what we choose to do with it. Okay, we'll start with a story. Actually, let's start with a disclaimer where I'm changing a few details or not giving some in order to protect the identity of loved ones, and they are loved ones. I love them dearly. All right, let's begin with, I've got a friend who was blessed with amazing good looks. I mean, stunning, head-turning, jaw-dropping good looks. And not just gorgeous, but also the kind of body that makes you go, dang, they make those for real? I thought those were just on Photoshop. I'm talking about the kind of beautiful that you could make a living off of just from the way you look. Like people would just pay you for being drop-dead gorgeous. And you know what? She did work as a model for a period of time. Okay, anyway, stunning looks, ridiculously gorgeous body, but not just beautiful. Also highly functioning. I mean, her body does just about everything you'd want a body to do. It does all the good things. She hit the jackpot in this area of life, okay? Okay, that's one friend. And I'm going to add that, despite being my friend, she is not LOA savvy. I mean, she's got to be LOA aware. I mean, hello, she's friends with me, but she doesn't practice it that I can tell. I think she's just too polite to say she doesn't believe it. But how could you be friends with me and not want to get in on this conscious creation gig? I mean, come on. I'm the living embodiment of why you should do this. My life? Come on. Okay, but I'm going to release my judgment about how everyone I know should practice conscious creation. I've had good practice lately at releasing judgment. Just yesterday, I got to do this again. Okay, this is a side story. I wish someone were here to tap me on the shoulder in case I forget to come back. But, Chad, I've been bugging him a little bit to just get he's got a couple minor physical ailments that I think he should get addressed because, they're just a couple little things that are bugging him, but you and I know how this works. When you don't address this stuff when it's minor, it might have an idea about getting bigger until it gets your attention in a way that you can't ignore. Okay, so anyway, I've got some strong ideas about how you should go about that. First of all, your body's got some inner wisdom that's worth tapping. Let's start there. Like you could ask your body, what's going on? What does it want? What does it want you to know or do? And also make sure you're loving on your body instead of criticizing it. And then listen for some inspiration about what sounds good. Trust your own inner guidance about what actions to take, if any, about resolving whatever's going on, and do it without resistance. I got all those ideas. I got all those ideas. But yeah, he doesn't want to hear my ideas. He finally did do something. He went to the doctor. Oh, did I say that with judgment? I said I'm releasing judgment. Yeah, okay, so he went to the doctor. Actually, it was a new doctor who he really liked, so at least he's got that going for him. But it's a doctor who's probably just going to treat symptoms instead of look for the cause. You know, us, we know to look for the vibrational cause. But yeah, so, they ordered up some blood work and he's going to take a sleep apnea test and he got a pain prescription for shoulder pain to a guy in recovery. Oh, I forgot. This is me releasing judgment. I get to do it all over again, don't I? Because you know what? He knows what's best for him. Okay. Back to my smoking hot friends. Okay, that's the thing. It is a plural. This is plural because I've got another friend who was not blessed with all the fabulous stuff that my other friend was. She does not, like me, she does not have stunning good looks or the perfect body that you see on the red carpet runways or up on the big screen or on the magazine covers. She has the opposite of that body. And she did not get the high-functioning aspect of it either. Hers came with some challenges that make it a little hard to feel like you won the body jackpot. You know what I mean? I'm not going to elaborate on those issues, but they aren't minor, okay? And this friend isn't LOA savvy either, at least not traditionally, not in the sense that you and I are, but she is super savvy about I don't know how she knows to do this. Maybe it's from a few things that I've shared with her. Maybe she listens to my podcast. I don't know, but I think she was smart before we ever even met, before I ever even weighed in on anything. This girl, knowing full well that she's got a situation that would be easy to complain about, that would be easy to feel bad about, easy to feel shortchanged by, easy to do a woe is me routine about, she did the exact opposite of that. When I sat down to record this, I was like, Jeanette, do you need a Kleenex? And I was like, no, I don't need a Kleenex for this. I need one right now. This girl, oh my gosh. She did the exact opposite of woe is me. Knowing that this could dramatically affect her life for the worse, the focusing on what wasn't right, she got deliberate about not letting that be the case, and she decided to play up what she could. She decided to play up what was in her favor. She focused on the things that she could be happy about. And a lot of those things were actually directly associated with the challenges she was experiencing, but she found a positive side to it instead of just the limitation side of it. She was just really good with her focus, is what I'm saying. She paid the kind of attention that all our bodies wish they got from all of us. She attended it with love and with thanks and with marvel and with not taking anything for granted. I really don't think I'm exaggerating. I feel like I'm doing an accurate representation of how she is with her body. She just generally learned to like being in it. She enjoys what her body can do instead of lamenting what it can't do. And she knows how to have fun with it in the ways that work rather than grumbling about how she can't do this, that, or the other. And she is one of the happiest, most delightful, most appreciative people, positive people that I know. She's got good relationships in her life. She does fulfilling work. She's got the kind of life that makes you think this is why we came here, to have this kind of good time. Okay, are you with me? Yeah. In the meantime, my other friend, my drop-dead, naturally gorgeous friend, is not having that routine. She discovered or created, maybe, who knows? Anyway, she's got one minor health issue that she's pretty much built her life story around. Meaning, like, this is the reason she's single. This is the reason she's broke. This is the reason she can't have kids. This is the reason she lives where she lives and does what she does, which is not what her preference is. It's the reason she can't have the kind of fun that other people can have because she's got this one that, I'll call it minor. I think she would argue it's an issue with her body that's negatively affecting just about every other aspect of her life. I mean, here's one person who was dealt cards that make you think, wow, that would be tricky to have a good time in this situation. And she is rocking it. And then the other one, you're like, whoa, she hit the jackpot. And she's not rocking it. Here's why I'm telling this story. Because I think it's a good example of how contrast can actually make things better. My friend who had the challenges, it's because she had those challenges that she got better at playing things up. And that habit changed everything for her. My friend who didn't have anything, or at least much, to complain about, she didn't have the same stakes. She didn't have the same reasons to focus on good things. Like, why does she have to develop an appreciation practice? Everything's already good. There's no work to be done here. And not doing the work of loving what is, I think it made her susceptible to a little glitch that grew into a big one. There's another example of this. My former business partner used to tell people the reason Jeanette built her coaching practice as fast as she did was because she used every fearful gremlin. I had a lot of those because I hated my job, which I eventually quit, but then I needed the money. I had money fears. I had a lot of fears. I had the gremlins. They just were running rampant. But she says Jeanette used those gremlins as catalysts to remind herself what she was having, which was, I use the mantra, I'm a brilliant coach in high demand. Every time I'd hear I'd feel the pit of fear in my stomach and hear the gremlin saying, this isn't going to work. You're going to have to get a job. And I would say, no, that's not what I'm creating. What I'm creating is, I need a Kleenex again right now. I love it. I would repeat, I'm a brilliant coach in high demand. So she says, look, that Jeanette put all those fears to work for her benefit, and that's why she grew a coaching practice faster than the average law of attraction coach does. My partner did it in 3 years, what I did in 3 months. And she says it's because Jeanette had more, because she leveraged her fear more than others do. You know what? I'd never looked at it that way until she pointed that out. I think she might be right about that. Like the contrast was for my benefit. Also knowing what to do with the contrast was for my benefit. Just like my gorgeous friend who took for granted her physicality and she let a little thing become a big thing over time, and my other friend who had challenges galore, but she got smart about choosing to have a good time instead of any other option, and having such dramatically different lives as a result of their choices of focus. And I've seen this happen with the romantic partners we find ourselves with, or the jobs, or the houses, or, where one who seems disadvantaged, but they use that situation as a reason to get thankful or a reason to get focused on what's good. They're so much better off over time, especially than the one who seems like they hit the lottery, but they don't have the same reasons to put their focusing skills to work. And they end up not as happy as a person who got deliberate about choosing better things, better perspectives, better stories, better thoughts. You know what? This applies to money too. It applies to everything. Bashar puts it this way. He says, circumstances don't matter. Only state of being matters. Our state of being is always for us to choose. So that's my story about how it's worth getting deliberate about choosing that. Because it doesn't matter what body you're in, or job, or marriage. Okay, sometimes we do have to quit and get divorced. But so often what makes the real difference is the perspective that we choose, the story that we tell about it. So here's to telling stories that make the good difference. Thanks for listening, everyone. Happy manifesting.